running on fumes with our magic cup in our self-concept. So all those shameful, regret, guilty things about the memories or the choices that you have made in the past, those things happen, but they are memories. Those are gone. The only thing that we have right now is the present moment. There is no past, there is no future, and your future actually gets predicted on where you're at right now. And so that's why we get caught in these loops where we're thinking the same thoughts of self or holding those traumatic things in our body when we could just easily release them. And I know that sounds easier said than done, but I want you to think about something. So one of the ways that I accelerated my healing journey so quickly is I realized that there were so many inner children and past versions of me that were hurting very deeply, and it wasn't their fault because we were doing the best that we could with what we had at that time. We also went through a lot of traumatic things. Nobody gave us the tools and resources that we needed for healing or to traverse through childhood and teenage and young adult. And I got into a lot of narcissistic relationships, and I did make a bunch of great choices along my path journey. But I realized, as the higher self, which you are to your inner children and your past versions, that when we are holding shame and guilt over them and negative thoughts, I want you to envision that those are children and younger versions of yourself outside of you. Like, we would never speak to somebody else, so why do we speak to self like that? And that really made me start to feel bad, because I was like, wow, I would never want to chastise a child or a teenager or a young adult. And I have been doing that to myself, and it's been eating away at my self-concept and my self-worth and my deservingness. And you can be a new identity in any moment. You can choose to be a completely different person right this second. I made a video earlier where I was talking about manifesting and what have you, and that we don't have to pull from past experiences to predict our future. We don't want to do self-fulfilling prophecies. And I said, in a voice in the back of my head, my subconscious is like, well, what about all those choices that we made in this? I don't care. That's not even real. I am not upset with any of my versions. Who are we right this second? Are we a loving, compassionate person who learns from our quote-unquote mistakes or our lessons, and we try our very best, and we're always working on self and seeing how we can be of a support to the collective? Absolutely. And I love us for that. And what we're going to do is we're going to take that identity and we're going to move forward, and we're going to leave all that stuff behind, because again, shame and guilt and regret do nothing for you. So if you feel like you're in this space right now, probably need to go in and talk to your inner children and past versions, because it's not you consciously as an adult that's holding those things. Sometimes it's them in the past that are trying to prove their worthiness to you as the higher self, and explaining to them, I don't need anything from you. I love you unconditionally. And if you feel like you need some extra support in releasing these energetic cords, or learning how to talk directly to your inner children and your past versions, I love to do that work with my clients. You can go to my profile and look for all the different ways that we can work together, or check the description box here down below.